Hello everyone, Clay Frederick of the Horror Franchise, back at it with another video. Another ranking video at least. So recently I did my most played video games of all time, and literally yesterday I did my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I started thinking, why not rank the asymmetrical online games? Now those are different categories as a whole. We have single player and then the online multiplayer aspect. So we're just doing online multiplayer games right now. So there's only technically 8. There's only actually 5 that I actually play. But these 3 at the bottom of the list, no hate towards them. I just couldn't get into them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. 8 in total here. Coming in at the very, very bottom at number 8 is going to be, please don't hurt me, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. I was talked into getting this by a couple of friends. They kept talking about it. They kept bringing it up to me. They said, you should try it, you should try it, you should try it. So I went ahead and bought it for, actually I went to GameStop and got this game for like 15 bucks. I got lucky with that. So I was like, you know what, screw it. Something else I need to play. Getting bored of everything else. So I downloaded it. I got on for a couple of days, and it just, I wanted to like it. I wanted to. I really did. And it just didn't click with me. It just didn't click with me. Just, I don't know if it was the gameplay mechanics I was having a hard time trying to get used to, or it's just, I don't know. The Western setting, I'm just not crazy about the Western stuff. I don't know why. That's just how I am. I just couldn't get into it. There was one particular friend that truly wanted me to just, he's like, let's ride together in the sunset, brother. I'm just like, all right, maybe one of these days. Didn't happen. I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't. So, but no, it's definitely one of the best games ever made. I respect that the fact that a lot of people love it. It's just not for me. It's not for me. Even my brother speaks highly of it. And he loves the hell out of it. I never played the single player aspect. I have no desire to play it. It's just not my type of game. It's not for me. But I have respect for the game. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's just not for me. Coming in at number 7. This one I played for a little bit at certain points when I was in my Friday the 13th phase. And some of my friends kept talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 online. Now, for some reason, in order for me to actually play online, I had to play the prologue sequence or something. So I did that. And the cool thing I heard about is I can make my own character, and I can get my own apartment or house or whatever, and you can just do all kinds of crazy missions and you get your own motorcycle. I wanted to be kind of like a motorcyclist in this, and I made my own character look like a biker, and I did a horrible job making myself. It was hilarious. But then I got around with hanging around with some of my friends that actually had a lot of hours into this, and seeing their like apartments, their yachts, their properties, you know, their vehicles, what they have, all that. It was cool to hang out with my friends, and it was cool to see what they had to show off to me, and it was cool. There was one friend in particular, her character, I don't know what the hell came over me. Well, I was so attracted to her, so attracted to this character of her, and it was like, damn, let's hang out. And she had a kick-ass yacht, she had a boat, we had a hot tub in there, and we had a bunch of friends with us. We were all just hanging out, and I was just like, man, drooling over this fictional video game character. I was like, oh my god, I've lost my mind. It was hilarious. But no, I had some really good fun moments, and there was also a couple of frustrating moments with certain people in here, but it is what it is. But no, seriously, I had fun playing the online aspect. I just was so hardcore into Friday the 13th at the time that it just completely got overshadowed by it. But no, for like at least maybe a month, I played with some people here and there. I tried something new, kind of taking a break from other stuff, And it was a fun experience. I had fun. But it wasn't something that I was going to glue myself onto 24/7. It was a nice little substitute. So, there's that. And I haven't really played it since. I just fell off of it. Couldn't really get myself into it anymore. Number 6 is going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I played this for about 2 weeks. The online aspect. I wanted to like this. I love Star Wars. I wanted to play either Rey or Darth Vader. So, I just remember how sweaty it really was. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I really didn't. So, I played for a couple weeks. Luckily, I got the game pretty cheap at GameStop. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It was too sweaty. I didn't know what I was doing. It's a skill issue on my part. I will admit that. But why? The thing that's cool that I'm mentioning it, why is this above GTA? I don't even know. I just have it listed this way. And I guess I just forgot to flip it. Let's flip it, shall we? Number 7 is going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2. GTA is going to be at number 6. Because I had more fun playing GTA than this game. Again, no hating on it. Skill issue on my part. I was just frustrating. It was a frustrating experience for me. I tried to play it. I just couldn't do it with it. There were a couple of other times I tried to pop it in and play it. I just didn't do it. And I love Star Wars. I wanted to try something Star Wars. I was feeling it for Star Wars lately, and I want to play something that's online, and it just didn't work out for me. So yes, I'm going to flip it up. Star Wars Battlefront is going to be at number 6. GTA is going to be at number... Star Wars Battlefront's number 7. GTA 5, number 6. My bad, guys. I got mixed up with everything. Now, these top 5, without a doubt, are accurate for me. These are the games that I have invested quite a bit of hours in, specifically the top 3. And I could say definitely number 4. But number 5 is going to be Predator Hunting Grounds. I was talked into getting this game a week before release. I pre-ordered it a week before release. And I made a good decision doing that. I wasn't really into it at the time. I was talked into it by some friends. Yeah, you should get this game, man. It looks cool as hell. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll get it. I got it, pre-ordered it, got the Jungle Hunter as a pre-order DLC, and Jungle Hunter's the OG Predator from the first movie, and I love the Jungle Hunter. So there's that. There's a lot of good memories in this game, and even though the amount of time that I invested into it is pretty much short in comparison to the next 4 that we're going to talk about, the one thing I will say, when this game first came out, I was having a blast with it. I was legitimately having fun with this game. It was super fun. The first 3 to 4 months, it was fantastic. I truly was enjoying everything about it. I was a Predator main, of course, because I found it more fun to play the Predator. I would love to being stealthy, trying to get around the trees and the obstacles, trying to strategize how I was going to knock these guys, the fire team out. Even though there were many occasions where the fire team somehow saw me when I was close, so whatever. They're a bunch of hackers or just damn good or something, but it is what it is. But no. Then they nerfed the Predator. I remember this quote. This stuck with me. I remember seeing the description that Ilphonic had said, "We're never going to nerf the Predator." A week later, they nerfed the Predator. That kind of grind my gears. I was like, dude, you just called yourselves out as liars. But it is what it is. I respect Ilphonic, especially when it comes to Halloween, the game coming out here at the end, around the last quarter of this year. So I hope they fulfill. But Predator Hunting Grounds, even after the Predator got nerfed and such, Fireteam got buffed, of course, and of course they always cater to the survivors. I don't know why they always cater to survivors, because people are crybabies and pussies anymore. But the killers are supposed to be the overpowered ones. They're supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be challenging and rewarding. It's not challenging and rewarding anymore with these asymmetrical games. So, a little pet peeve, I'm sorry. But, no. Still, I've had fun playing this game from time to time. I got it when they rebooted it for the PS5. And I got a code where I can get 10 Predators as DLC for free if I got it on a physical copy. So I did that, and I got my Predator Jungle Hunter back. Because if you don't know, I played it on PS4. I don't know my information to carry over to my PS5, so I had to make a brand new account, which really sucked because I miss Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I guess rights issues had to take him away and all that, so whatever. But no, so seriously, this game can be fun. But when I actually to keep playing and playing and playing and playing, no, that's long gone for me. And the fact that I could, if I don't want to play online, I could just go to private match and kill bots as Predator. Because like I said, I'm more of a Predator main, and I could still have fun just dicking around and messing around, having fun on my own terms. And it's really cool that they have bots implemented that, because I play offline bots for Friday the 13th, and I'm a Jason main. So there's that. Win-win scenario for me. Now we get to number 4. Fortnite. This one caught me by surprise. This one, again, another game I was talked into getting. And there was a guy I was working with at my old job. He spoke highly of Fortnite. He's like, hey, we should play. I said, I don't have any interest in getting Fortnite. He's like, I just want somebody to play with. I need new friends to play with. He finally suckered me into getting it. And I remember, this is the most memorable thing about Fortnite for me. My introduction to Fortnite. I got Fortnite, I downloaded it, I turned it on, and I started looking at the shop. And I remember it was literally, I think it was November 10th of 2020. I knew it was 2020. Was it November 10th or something? It was somewhere around there, or was it the 20th? Somewhere in there. It was during the tournament phase for my Black Widow. My Black Widow. And I remember seeing that skin for the first time, and I was like, love struck. I was love struck. She looked nothing like Scarlett Johansson, but even then, I was love struck by that skin. I was like, I want it. I want that skin. I want it. The very first thing I saw. And to this day, is my main. She's my main. My Black Widow snowsuit outfit is my main. She's my main skin to this day. To this day. Even Jill Valentine, my queen, my wife, couldn't top my Black Widow in Fortnite. I don't know why. It's just because I stuck with this skin for so long. And the Resident Evil skins are going to come back in Fortnite here very shortly due to Resident Evil Requiem coming out as I'm recording this video. And I'm going to be buying a lot of skins on Fortnite, and I'll be playing Fortnite again soon. Because I haven't been playing it as much. There's nothing interesting going on with it for me. But even then, ever since I got my hands on Fortnite, and trying to learn how to play like my friend at the time, who took the game way too seriously and made everything about him, and if you didn't do it his way, you're crazy. There's something wrong with you. He turned out to be that kind of person. So, he ain't worth it mentioning anymore. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. But, no. But even then, after all that fiasco, I was hooked on Fortnite. I was hooked. The one thing I'll say, he introduced me to Fortnite. He got me into he got my hands on my Black Widow. That's the only thing I give him credit for. Everything else, fuck him. But Fortnite was incredibly fun for a while. I remember all these other chapters that are coming out, these battle passes. I was grinding. I was like, I need every skin. Oh, God, I spent hundreds of dollars on this game. Bad. And I wanted a lot of these skins, emotes, all these back blings, all these other things. And I remember Lara Croft came out at one point from the reboot trilogy. And I was like, I want that. As you all know, Lara Croft's one of my favorite characters of all time. She's my number 2 because Lara Croft is the most beautiful woman in the world and the most badass woman in the world next to my wife, Jill Valentine. So there's that. And Black Widow's number 3. So, yeah, there is. The 3 badass babes in Fortnite. So there's that. But no, seriously. A lot of cool chapters, and after a while I started getting stale with it. I got really stale with it, and there was nothing really of value to me. No skins that were interesting to me. And I was like, I spent too much money on this game. I need to back off for a while. And so I did. I still play it here and there. I have my phases where I play it, and then I get off of it. Like now. I haven't played it for a couple months because there's nothing interesting going on. I'll be, like I said, I'll be back to play it again because the Resident Evil skins are coming back. And Grace Ashcroft is coming out, and I'm interested in Grace Ashcroft. Can't talk. Ashcroft. So I'll be getting that. So, yes. Fortnite, I've invested a lot of time in. I've invested a lot of money in. Now we get to number 3. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Despite all the flaws this game has, despite the problems that had happened in the past year and a half or whatever, specifically this past year, it's my number 3 spot for a reason. Gun Interactive made it. The people who made Friday the 13th made it. Gun Interactive. And the one thing I love about this game, the one thing I love about Gun Interactive as a whole, they are damn good at making this core gameplay mechanic and the environment and the characters and all that as faithful to the source material as much as possible. They are true hardcore horror fans, and they know their shit. They delivered on that. They delivered. I remember when they the announcement trailer came out, and I was very curious because a lot of people have been saying, what's this next game they're making? Because we knew they were making a new game. I thought it was going to be Halloween. I wanted it to be Halloween. Thank God it wasn't because of, well, the obvious shit that's happened as of today. With that being said, it got me into wanting to watch the original movie, and that was a damn good horror movie. I have never seen the original up until after the announcement trailer, and that was a damn good horror movie. It's in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. If you want to watch that video, go ahead and watch, because you'll enjoy that. I hope. Maybe. But no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, despite the flaws it has, I love the attention to detail when it comes to the characters, and even the victims. The victims were interesting. They have good background stories, and I remember I was like, I want to main Anna. I'm going to main Anna. She's that leader. She is the sister who's looking for her other sister. So, who's looking for Maria Flores and all that shit. So, but no, they captured the vibe, and the music is not even really music. It's just weird noises and shit. And just, the kills are great. The graphics for an online asymmetrical game were pretty damn impressive. So, there's that. But then you get to the perks and all that where the balance was truly unbalanced. So it definitely, it reminds me of Predator Hunting Grounds, where the first few months were incredibly fun for the most part. I remember within my first week I was getting frustrated already. And that's due to my number 2 game we're going to talk about because of all that bullshit that game has brought into my life. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, truly, aesthetically, in the environments and all that, it was fantastic. Gameplay was fantastic. It's just the live service aspect, the updates that followed, is definitely what hurt this game the most. Even though it's still at my number 3 spot. Because, well, it's freaking an awesome horror IP. I mean, I'm not a hardcore Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, but Leatherface is cool as shit, man. And Leatherface is awesome in this game. even though there are some flaws with him, and some flaws when it comes to the victims trying to fight back. There were definitely flaws with this game when it came out, and through that they had to patch up, and even then, there are still flaws with this game. Every game's got flaws, guys. But even then, still. But then we get to the whole... When Danny and Nancy, the first DLC dropped, the new victim and killer came out, family member came out, that's where the game really started to fumble, or fall off its rails, because Danny had an ability, all the victims had different abilities, and Danny's ability was broken and overpowering as hell. And I remember for a while, and this was around the time when Christmas break, the holiday season was coming out, and everyone was taking their family vacations and all that, and we had to wait months before that got fixed. That was abysmal and terrible. That's where the game really started to fall apart. And sure, they've had their patches and clothing packs and small DLCs and small, I guess, and other patches that came out that tried to fix all this, and even then it wasn't enough. But then they brought out Hans, another family member, and Maria. Holy shit, Maria. I remember that excited me. I was like, holy crap, Maria, you're alive. Because people were wondering if she was even alive or dead. I thought she was dead. But it was cool to see that Anna's sister was alive and a playable character. And then Maria, even though she's considered the weakest victim in the group, I played her a lot. She's my second main next to Anna. The Flores sisters. How about that? That was definitely the most exciting DLC for me. I got to play on Maria. It was cool to see it. And Hans had an ability that countered Danny too. So there's that. Things were looking good for a while. And then the patches got very quiet. The updates got very quiet. Other things came out that just that nobody wanted. I never played the other DLC. What was it called? Rush Week. Never even bothered. Didn't care. And then, when things were real quiet, Gun Interactive dropped a massive bomb on all of us by abandoning the game because it reaches full potential, apparently. No, it didn't. It did not reach its full potential. And I know why now, because Wes Keltner finally woke up and decided to tell us the main reason why. It was due to resources and his employees and financial stability, I guess, something like that. He chose his employees over all of us, in other words, or something. Understandably so. But you could have just been upfront and told us from the get-go instead of waiting a whole year. That was kind of a shady move. Even then, that was shady. I was pissed. I was not happy about that because I was looking forward to, I had it in my mind, as well as everybody else, that we were going to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, 3, 4, the remake. I was looking forward to the remake. I truly was. Jessica Biel was going to wipe out everyone else. She was going to be my main. I was hoping that would be the case. Of course, we got Thomas Hewitt's skin from the remake. That was cool. But I got nothing else. Yeah, it was a letdown. It was a letdown. Even though, despite all of that, the game is in my number 3 spot because it's Texas Chainsaw, man. Definitely going to prefer that over Fortnite and Predator. I mean, come on now. But no, despite all these massive flaws this game's had, every once in a while I pop it in, play it, and it reminds me of Predator Hunting Grounds. I'll play it a little bit, then I'll just fall off. Because the game's just a broken, unbalanced mess. That's all it is anymore, and it's really unfortunate. Now, Predator Hunting Grounds, I wouldn't say it's a broken, unbalanced mess, but it's just stale. It's just stale. They're all stale now. But I think I've rambled too long for this. Now we're going to reach our number 2. The game that to this day is still in my life somehow. Dead by Daylight. Now, Dead by Daylight, I've invested a lot of time and money in, and to this day, I still kind of am. And as far as money goes, not so much, because I'm not looking forward to the next mid-chapter that's coming out, because I probably won't even play it. But anyways, Dead by Daylight was introduced to me by a couple of friends through Friday the 13th, once again, back in 2019. I remember playing it. The only reason I even considered getting it was because Michael Myers and Laurie Strode was in it. So I got it, bought that DLC. I wanted to play Michael and Laurie. I was being shown the ropes and all that. I played for a few days and I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. Then a couple of years go by. They dropped the first trailer for the first Resident Evil chapter with Nemesis, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, bringing in also Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield. So that was enough for me to get it. And that first like couple of months, oh God, I was such a baby. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was terrible at the game. Terrible. I'm still terrible today, but still, even then. I had some fun. And then I slowly started to realize something. How this game has a way of bringing out the worst in humanity. And it did. It brought out the worst in me. It brought out the worst in a lot of people I've known. Because we played consistently for a while. And it does it to you. Because the community is garbage. Not everyone, again, I've said this, I keep going on this about the community. I know if you guys have seen my other videos talking about Dead by Daylight, I'm not trashing on everyone in the community. I'm trashing on most of the people in the community for sure, because from my experience, the Dead by Daylight community has been nothing but entitled asshats who think they know everything and are better than everybody, when in reality, they're the biggest cowards on earth, and they take a game way too personally, and they think it's literally... What's the word? What's the words I'm looking for? They play it like their life depends on it. There it is. Your life doesn't depend on a video game. So, again, let me reiterate here. Not everyone is toxic in this community. From my experience, it is draining to people. It drained me. It became frustrating. It was turning me into an entitled asshole. It was turning me into, it had to be played one way, or I'm just DCing, or I'm just going to quit, or I'm just going to rage. Now, I've done this live on stream. You've seen it, if you have. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do with this content. I don't want to show my bad side. I want positivity. This game is full of negativity. That's all it ever has been. Now, there's positive moments. There's people that look forward to things. There are people that actually have a good time with this game. But this game, I have a love-hate relationship with. This is the pure definition of a game I have love and hate for. Now, here's what I do love about the game. Here's the positive parts about this game. The game itself, the fact that you can play licensed killers in the same game, all these licensed survivors, Laurie Strode, Jill Valentine, Nicolas Cage, Rick Grimes, in the same world, is awesome. The grind system is awesome. The music is great. The gameplay is great. The incentive to play is great. The replayability is fantastic. There's so much to grind for. There's cosmetics you want to buy. There's a lot of things in this game that keep you coming back. That's great. The lore is fantastic. The creative designs of these original killers and survivors is fantastic. Here's an example. Michaela. She's a baby. She's one of my favorite survivors. She's probably my favorite original survivor. Of course, Joe Valentine's my number one. You all knew that. But no, that's awesome. The thing I hate about the community is how the community takes advantage and treats people and the developers and just treats it as a whole. They're all, not all of them, again, from my experience, peoples. This is my experience with the game. I'm just telling you how I feel, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This is the only game where I have literally damn near lost my shit to the point where I was going to break everything in the house. And you all know this. Controllers and headsets have been broken. But now I look back, I need to step away. There were times where I was like, I need to step away and have a better mindset. And I did. I did. I did it. I did it. You know why? Because I don't play the game as much anymore. I look back on that and I go, this is out of control. I need to stop. This is childish. This is stupid. This is wrong. I have anger issues and I must control it. I try. But no, seriously. I've invested a lot of money and time in this game, and I have no desire to quit, because if I do quit, I'll feel like they won. They don't win. They never win. They're all scum. Fuck them. But for the good people in the community, cool on you guys. Have a good time. Enjoy. But I'm winding myself down from this game anyway, because this is going to be my last year playing Dead by Daylight. Unless they bring out Jason Voorhees. I hope they bring Jason out. That's going to be the only reason I will play the shit out of it. He'll be my next P100, for sure. And surprisingly, Michael Myers is not P100. I don't even have him at P100. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Or at least get the P50. But no, seriously, I think I've ranted too long about this game. There are great things about this game, but the community just has a way of ruining it. There it is. There it is. Everybody needs to calm down. Stop acting like this is the most important thing in the world. The entitlement is insane, isn't it? They're all wrong. Now we get to number one. The one that truly changed everything in gaming for me. You all know this. You knew it was coming. You already probably know by now it's Friday the 13th, the game. Come on now. I remember in 2015, I was at work and a couple of my friends were saying, hey, they're making a game based off of Friday the 13th. It's called Summer Camp. I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. And he's telling me it was going to be multiplayer. I was like, all right, well, when it comes out, I'll get it. Then he told me it was going to be digital and then they were going to work on getting a physical release later in the year. I said, well, I'm a physical guy, so I'm getting it physically. You got to understand, at the time, I didn't have internet up here. I live in the woods. I had to run on my hotspot on my phone as internet. And that was not enough to get updates going. Updates took forever. I had to go to my grandparents' place where they had good internet. And that would be the way to get updates. And I didn't want to go out of my way to drive there every day or whatever. So a couple of years go by. Obviously, I haven't seen a single trailer for it. The only trailer I've seen was for Summer Camp itself. But after that, I was blind. Is it bad? A couple of my friends, they got it. They said it was buggy. I was like, okay, well, I'm still waiting for physical copy. I don't know why you keep telling me this crap. So finally, as time went on, doing my own thing, I finally got my hands on a physical copy of Friday the 13th. And I remember downloading it. And I also remember the very first time I played this game. We've been in the private match. I've said this already. I'm going to say it again. It was literally the day the Part 4 DLC came out, where Part 4 Jason and the Jarvis map came out. And that's my favorite movie in the franchise, the final chapter. So I played as Jenny Myers, one of the starting characters. We spawned directly in the middle of the map. He somehow knew where I was and spawned right there. I didn't last very long. And I remember reacting to the chase music. I was like, oh my god, that's the actual music from the movie. I knew, right, boom, right there, right there. That's when I knew. Okay, they nailed this game right off the bat. And then the kills I got to see, all the other survivors I got to unlock, all these different skins of Jason. And I remember it was like, where the hell is Uber Jason? Where's pre-Uber Jason? Where's all the other skins? Where's Freddy vs. Jason? It was a licensing thing. I didn't know. I was so new to the online world. It was bad. I was a baby. I was just a baby. Knew nothing about this crap. But I remember seeing Part 7 specifically, and that's my favorite Jason design. My favorite Jason design, period. Kane Hodder, man. He's the GOAT. And I was going to be my main. I didn't care about how weak he was at the time. I didn't care about the pros and cons. I just wanted to play that skin, and to this day, it's still my main Jason. Still my main Jason. I still haven't selected, because if I select Part 3 or Roy, I'll never play Part 7 again. Part 7 is my GOAT. And to this, I remember at one point, through the years, the tournament community, one of them who was one of those league leaders, or I don't, what the hell is it? Big Lizzo, I'm talking to you, man. If you're watching this, I remember you saying I was an OG Part 7. I was one of the best, if not the best Part 7 Jason. I could be wrong, but at least I can say I was one of the best, because he was my main. I played him only for the most part. I played all the other Jasons, but Part 7 was my guy. And I remember back in the day where he had that minus shift, he had the plus grip strength, which was nothing. It was nothing. That was his horrible stats. And even then, I was still able to be good with him. I mean, yes, I've had my matches where I failed horribly and got my ass kicked. But who hasn't? Everyone's bound to fail at some point. But no, seriously, when he got that update and he got weapon strength and a normal shift and minus stun resistance, which is literally nothing, I was like, yeah, my goat got buffed. And he was definitely stronger. He needed it. And he was, even though he's still amongst the weaker Jasons, he was so much better. And even then, it didn't matter to me. He's my guy. And of course, my main counselor was AJ Mason, because she's hot, she's gothic, and she's punk rock and all that. So there's that. And she's got a great ass to look at. Ha! But no, seriously. And another thing, she was one of the weaker counselors as well. There you go. Here's a thing I will say. Everybody played Vanessa, they played Chad, they played Bugsy, and they claimed like they were the best players in the world. Let me tell you something right now. Not hating on anybody about it. If you really want to be a skillful player, play LaChapa, Deborah, or AJ. I played AJ. And somehow, there were a lot of matches where I pulled some jukes like you wouldn't believe on these killers, on Jasons. And I won. Last man surviving. Fantastic. Of course, that wasn't always the case, but if you really want to show your skill, play the weaker ones. And I did. But no, seriously, this is the greatest gaming experience of my life. I've met a lot of people, some of them good, some of them bad. And I've said this before already, from my top 10 favorite video games. But it is what it is. This is the game that changed everything for me. It changed my whole world. It introduced me to the multiplayer online world forever. And to this day, I play mostly online games now. I mean, lately I've been playing the Resident Evil games because I'm getting ready for Resident Evil Requiem to come out. But even then, truly, nothing can hold a candle to Friday the 13th, man. Just the world and the people I met along the way, it made you feel like you were actually there. And I felt like I was AJ Mason. Oh my god, I'm a woman now. What happened to me? Ha ha! Funny. No, seriously. I hope Halloween the game lives up to the hype and at least is as good as Friday the 13th. That's all I care about. It's obviously going to beat Dead by Daylight because it's Michael Myers and it's Haddonfield on Halloween night. From what I've seen, it's going to be a spiritual successor to Friday the 13th. That's all I want. I've been saying I wanted that from the get-go. Ever since I got Friday the 13th, I was hoping they make a Halloween game just like it. And they're doing it. I got what I wanted. I'm happy. We still don't know a whole lot to this as of recording this. We still don't know a whole lot about the gameplay elements. We already know about Michael Myers, but what about the heroes of Haddonfield, the survivors? We still need to see that. Then I'll have a grasp on how this game really is going to play. And plus, it's going to have single player. Back to Friday the 13th. The greatest game of all time. The greatest online asymmetrical experience I've ever had. I've had a lot of great memories, but I've also had some bad memories with it. But the good outweighs the bad big time. I've met some great people. Some people I still talk to this day. And I hope I see them when Halloween comes out. I'm ready. And that's all I got to say about that. There's not a whole lot. Literally, it's basically just 5 games. But I had to include the bottom 3. Just to say that I tried them. And I had GTA 5 is the only one that actually somewhat had a good time with playing for a little bit. For that tiny bit. Compared to these first 5. But no, that's my list of my asymmetrical horror games. Or just asymmetrical online games in general. I hope I see you guys in the next one. If you like this kind of videos, be sure to like and subscribe. You'll get more in the future. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.